Now, what you don't realize is when I lost the hour of time, right? Because I'm going to a movie. Why, okay, did that happen in the first place? See, my movie, I should have gotten out at 10 to 3 at least with just a normal nail job. But if I get out 10 to 4, that's an hour longer. That's your problem, idiot. I know I lost the hour. And the central point is the girl. Is the girl. Young lady, whatever she was, who told me she was 37. Now, if you don't want it to look like you were trying to entrap me, which is all it looks like to me, to be with her and tried to shoot me or something afterwards, which is exactly what it looks like, you wouldn't have charged me with the criminal trespassing, right? So that means you don't want me to come back for some reason. And I don't remember the reason either, dumbass, right? If I don't remember the reason, okay, whatever happened, once could be explained. Let's say I lose 20 minutes. I still could have catched the second show that started at 3:10, right? Twice, though, something more is going on. 3 times you're out. You did something to me. I know. To make me lose the hour. Then I had to go see Arctic Dogs. I remember everything that happened that day except for why I blacked out. All I can tell you, too, I'm not insinuating anything. You, by charging me with criminal trespassing, that means you don't want me in the store anymore. Well, you're the only one I had that weird encounter with where I lost an hour of time. And that's what I mean. I don't remember Mariko coming in there doing anything with me, but I'm not saying she couldn't, but I would lose at least 10, 15 minutes if she did. And I don't recall losing that much time around her. Unless it was real quick. And it was a quickie in the, bathroom with her. I'm not saying it couldn't have been. Now, I told you I can come within a minute to 5 minutes, whatever, right? To 20 or 30. It all depends on, tightness things. Can be longer or slower too. But see, like I'm trying to say about going to the movies, I did go to the movies when I was a kid with my friends who had a car or a truck to go there with them. Yeah, yeah. But now that I'm an adult, because you're kind of isolating me, I go to the movies by myself. Now, I just found out T's a guy, but I didn't know that until he said that. Right. I'm not omniscient or anything, T. You gotta tell me that. I don't know. But now that I know, okay, whatever. But I'm saying that if you're a girl, right, not a guy, right, didn't say anything out of place, and then he's acting crazy, right? You were. I said exactly what should say, right? To you, not knowing your gender, not knowing your gender. And you can't assume I do know your gender. You know your gender. But see, that's when you get into murky waters. You start trying to act like you know what another person is thinking or feeling when you don't, T-shirts. And sometimes you jump the gun. You think I know who you are when I don't. See, that's you overreacting, not me. Me, by the way. Exactly, exactly. And I said exactly what someone would say who's not sure of your gender, too. If you're a male, we would just go as friends, and if you're a female, we can become more than friends, but that's up to you. Even if you want to be friends, that's fine. We can still go to the movies together. That's a normal response if you don't know the person's gender. Your response is kind of odd. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's what I mean. That's going to make me suspicious of you, right? Because instead of just saying, you ain't got to worry about that girl part, I'm a guy, you kind of went all weird on me, right? Like I knew you were a guy or something and I didn't. Hence what I said, hence what you said. But that would only make me a little suspicious of you, right? Not saying we couldn't, Dutch the movie. You show up in your car, I show up in mine, right? And we go to the movies together and whatever. But see, that does, okay, if it's just two guys, look a little weird. That's why me, Myron, and David, it's three guys, right? That don't look too bad. Plus, Myron would have Allery once in a while, right? Now, or I would have Lisa, or David would have his girlfriend once in a while. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? we were all trying to date too, right? Maybe the same girls, maybe not. I don't know about that part, right? Until Tina and Kathy, I guess. I don't know if something happened there or not, right? But all I would offer them differently is I would eat them out. If they wanted to do a menage a trois, David. And I'm French that way. I don't recall offering them that or us talking about that. I don't know. But I wouldn't be upset if you had sex with them either, right? Both of them either. But I don't know. I don't worry about all that. That's water under the bridge anyway. That was a long time ago, right? But if, again, I'm around them somehow by myself, right? And they came up with the idea, I don't recall it. Exactly. And there's only one person who would have a problem with it if they did that with you. But the thing is, I wouldn't cock block you, David, if they both wanted to fuck you either. Nor attack you to where you don't know it happened. See what I mean? That's homicidal behavior, David. You don't attack your friend who's getting lucky with two girls like you wouldn't do the same to him. I know. And like, Allery didn't date you first and then Myron, and I didn't know that. Now, I wouldn't expect them to really do that, right? But if we talked about it and I was joking around at first and they took it seriously when we went through with it, I don't recall that part. And I'm not saying it happened. But you would know more about it, and they would know more about it than I would. That's still after the car wreck. Now, I always try to respect the female's wishes over my own. So if someone wants a menage a trois with me even, right, that's up to them. Mm-hmm. But why do it 3 times if you did black me out, right? I healed all 3 times too. Now, once can be explained. Twice, you're starting to overrun my time. 3 times you overrun my time. I should have been in the store, right? Not me. I had a plan. And only one thing can interrupt that plan. And it ain't playing footsie with her. It's doing something with her in the bathroom where no one can see but me and her. And And that would explain why you got upset and tried to shoot me. And it would explain why I healed like the Wolverine, because it's on you and her. Mm-hmm. See, we're saved by grace through faith, not of works, cease to diminish most anyway. I know. Because, see, we're all trying to find a partner, me, a girlfriend, you, I guess, whatever, right? But only if, again, you're setting me up with Mariko because you're not giving her any or something. Or she didn't bleed on her wedding night or something. You stopped, didn't finish the job. I don't know her story, right? But some women, just because they don't bleed, don't mean they weren't not with a man, right? On their wedding night either. See, you're neglecting women can play with themselves too, right? And unknowingly pop their own cherry. But they were still never with a man. I know that. I know that. Sometimes you assholes about that shit. I know you are. Men. That's what I mean. That's what you mean. Now, my girlfriend ain't got to be a pristine virgin, but I would prefer her not to have a child from another man, because that can be crappy sometimes. Depends on the children, right? Now, I'm trying to get along and do, moderately normal stuff, right? Trying to do my schoolwork, though I passed that, right? And typing was a C plus. Mm-hmm. But not an A. Not no mistakes. But if they did, they were code red because I don't remember that part of our conversation during the day. So the only time they can code red me is at night after the 12 to 4 watches. I know. But I would actually probably be tired enough to sleep a few hours there too, right? But I can't prove it, right? But see, if I lied to them and told them I was an A student in typing class, the reason for that is so that they would use the best typist in the division, right? Which would be the guy who was doing Lieutenant Guzman's reports, which was the third class petty officer. I forgot his name, like I said, right? But I can describe him for you. He had black hair and blue eyes, right? Kind of fair complected, right? Like a male version of Snow White. Is that what you want me to say? Maybe. Yeah. But again, but if I told them that, it was because I wanted him to type it up perfectly as only he could. See, they could do it just as bad as I could do it. They would have to use whiteout and all that too. Like I would have had to use, right? But if they're trying to set me up with it, right? I'm going to lie to them and tell them I was an A student when I was really a C plus student, right? I make them think they had to type it up perfectly, right? Yep. That's what too. Durr. But I don't remember that conversation, right? So again, unless they're code red me or something, you don't normally have to have that conversation when you get a new girlfriend. And that means my shipmates were not only quid pro quo me, they're interfering in my dating life with women. Sheena sounds like a male's name. But I bet they were saying something so bad to her, she broke up with me a month later, and I don't know what. You don't know what. Well, she was either an African or Tanya Roberts. You know what I mean? But you are trying to separate a business life from a personal life, and you can't completely do that either. Especially if you want to go into my field of work, which might be music. And see, musicians write their own songs from their own personal experience. See, Exactly. And a song producer would do the same thing, or a music producer. But yet, he would help another artist relay their personal feelings into their song. That's what a producer does, and he comes up with melodies for the people to sing. Are we insane? Just give peace a chance. Which is sung by John Lennon and Yoko Ono band right now. But again, if you agree with John's sentiments, okay, and you're teaching the vocals, right, which are words under the Constitution, that's freedom of speech. I know it is. See, that's why there's certain things that fair use covers, and one of them is if it's speech, okay, you can agree with the sentiment of what the person said or sung. Right? You're forgetting all the law. And usually fair use has to have a percentage, and usually it's 10%, like with your agent gets 10%, your manager gets 10%, right? Well, fair use gets 10% too, right? To be used for fair use, right? Because you're writing a song someone might can identify with, and if they identify with it, they can say, well, I could say the same thing, right? I feel the same way about it, right? And they can use the same words, right? Then, and you're denying that too, right? See, you're not seeing what you're doing is actually against freedom of speech, right? It's acting like only they can say it too, right? Or feel that way, right? You're trying to isolate them by giving them copyright laws so that only they can say what they want to say in a song, when yet anyone can say, are you insane? Just give peace a chance too. I just have to sing it differently to John Lennon. And the reason is John Lennon is the first one to say it, right? All we can say, just give peace a chance. So there I'm changing it around a little under educational. All we can say, we need to give peace a chance. But see, that sounds what? See, with the message, if it's a good message, right? If it's under freedom of speech, right? When you say something and people agree with you, they can repeat the phrase, right? For free. Right. They ain't got to pay you for it. They're just agreeing with you and saying, I'm not insane. I'm going to give peace a chance. Right? I'm not insane. I'll give peace a chance. That's what? That's how you would answer the statement as well. Mm-hmm. I'm not insane. I'll give peace a chance. Exactly right. But I can't copyright that and say, oh, only I can say that. Ooh. Not you. Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. That censorship is what it really is. I'm writing words in a song and I'm saying only I can sing it, right? That's silly. That's silly. It's against freedom of speech, right? And then you're acting like, well, only I can come up with the lyrics. It depends on what you're saying. Like, certain things are more personal. Like, I'm probably the only one who can say I was in a car wreck and out of the hospital in 2 days, right? For example, right? I was in a car wreck, but I was at the hospital in 2 days. Nobody can say that but me. And do it kind of like Tom Petty, maybe. Whatever. Because he's running down the street. But that's why. Working on the mystery. Going wherever it leads, running down the street. But there again, I identified the artist I'm singing with and impersonating. See, that's legal fair use. See, with fair use, you gotta identify the artist, say what you're teaching about, which is impersonation and how to sound like Tom Petty, and that I'm agreeing or disagreeing with the lyrics he sung, right? Right. And I like the song or dislike the song. That's fair use, right? And another thing about comedy is impersonation is also a parody. Now, sometimes you can mock it and change the words and say something different, or you can agree with it and say the same thing and say the same thing. The artist said. Because, see, I too had a dream. I'm running now. Involving a throne with a light in front of it. Where I'm standing in the cloud. I think that's heaven, right? Heaven isn't too far away. Maybe I forgot who sung it. Right. But it's not my song. Another way to do that is say, well, I forgot who sung the song, but it's not my song. But I'm using it because heaven and earth is my throne and the earth is my footstool, right? Right. One is representative of the male, also one is the female. All right. But we're one in who? Christ Jesus. And how is that possible if you're two? If you're two. By being one in the body of Christ, right? Where there's now neither Jew nor Gentile, bond nor female, for you're all one in Christ Jesus. And by one Spirit you're all baptized into one body. Now, like I said, I'm trying to explain something to you. Constantine heard of, but couldn't really prove, and because he couldn't prove it, he didn't submit to it. But does that mean he's totally wrong? 50-50, 50-50. But who is the one who Christ told everything to? The 12. The 12. Or the 11, I'm sorry. Or the 500, right? Whomever he told it to. Even Paul went over the scriptures first for 3 years in Arabia. In Galatians. Yeah. He reread the Bible, dumbass, for 3 freaking years. And then he began his ministry. And convinced the Jews in the synagogues Christ was Jesus. The Messiah was Jesus. But the problem came, with the Orthodox Jews who don't want the seals revealed and want to keep them sealed. And then the Orthodox Christians are doing the same thing. So Orthodox Christians and Orthodox Jews are of the same mind. The male is the sole image of God, not the woman at all, or the hermaphrodite. They don't even acknowledge either or. But that's why Daniel would use Nashim, which is the feminine of Enosh, right? Mm-hmm. The masculine feminine. Could be even the androgynous image you're against over the male image. And also the female. Mm-hmm. See, you're being in the mind of the devil then, right? More so than you know. Mm-hmm. Now, the other problem is, yes, right now you got the majority because most men buy into the trinity of males, not a trinity of females, which you can't have one without the other, right? But see, if there's a trinity of males, there must also be a trinity of females, mother, daughter, and Holy Ghost, right? Because you can't have one without the other. We're not independent of each other. You're dependent on each other. You're codependent, right? You can't, in other words, have a child without the other sex, right? Or gender. You have to adopt then, gay people, right? But that's okay. I don't condemn you because some people are having children so promiscuously, right? So thoughtlessly, you might be a better parent to the child. I understand that too, right? And condemnation, is the problem. Gloria, G-L-O-I. Gloria. I heard a little segment. I know you heard a little something. And if her daughter feels more attracted to women, I understand. Me too. But again, I'm not mad. I just would compete with her. And see, unlike other men, I do something other men don't do with a woman. I might weed. But again, I don't want to leave her alone. You know what I mean? Right. Because see, I can't date every woman, you know what I mean, either. I'm just trying to find one like we're partner like we're supposed to find. Now, if you're gay, you're looking for what? The same sex to be your partner. If you're straight, you're looking for the opposite sex. It's as simple as that. And if you're a bi, you can be with either or as long as it's in love, not like it's you know what I mean there too, right? The devil, when he got Adam, was none too kind. And hurt his ethel. Let's put it bluntly. He reamed him. Almost worse than prison rape. And he was a virgin too. Well, Adam was the virgin on prom night that time. And I know you don't want to get it. I know you don't want to get that. At all. But it's also how he did it to Adam that made Adam feel it was evil. But it's not until he ate that they both saw they were naked. They were naked. And knew, and knew good and evil, and knew good and evil. Which Satan let him do the straight sex in both holes too. But again, wasn't quite male or female. He was both. Does that not make sense? Or you make so much sense you don't want to deal with it. But you did that. And see, you can't do it to other men or you're gay like Satan is. You're not gay like a real gay person who wants a relationship with a man, not just sex. That's different too. Yeah, it is. It's the whole point. Now, denying if you're having sex with a man is still being gay. Now, when Moses says both of them, he means both the giver and the receiver. You know what I mean? Have committed an abomination. But that's why I'm talking about marriage and dating for gay people and straight people. It's similar. And the only difference is what? The partner is the same sex, all right? But do we condemn them when Jesus said, judge not, lest you be judged? You can't. You can't. He says, forgive to be forgiven, not condemn to be condemned, right? If you condemn, you're condemned. Because you don't know, even if you're with a woman, you're with the right woman. Why do you think Solomon was with 1,000 and David was about 17, right? You just don't know. You just don't know. All right, I'm not a housewife. I could be. American housewife's easier. But anyway. Get the point. And you're leaving a lot of your rules behind, right? For the law's sake. The law is your schoolmaster to Christ, but it's not to replace Christ's love, grace, and mercy, right? Because see, the law can be just like a freaking computer or a robot, right? Do this, don't do that. This is right, that's wrong, right? And it's stiff, it's hard, it's iron. Mm-hmm. Well, usually the rod of correction will drive evil far from a child. But correction is simply to correct the child when they're wrong, right? See, and forgive the trespass. so that your own trespasses will be forgiven. If you forgive not, your trespasses won't be forgiven either. That's the real message of Christ, many Christians. Many Christians. Many Christians. Or many Christians, right? You're missing the boat. You're focusing on the wrong image, the male. There's three images of God: androgynous, male, and female, and all have a role. One is the spiritual image. One is the reproductive image. Right. One is the true. Yes, is truer than the male and female as two, from which you both come. Right? So that neither one can claim to be God's sole image. Though you're a god or a goddess if you're male or female, you're not both like the androgynous. See, an androgynous person is god and goddess. You're just one or the other, right? You understand, right? They're greater than you a little bit. They more represent the spirit being made terrestrial, right? Now, the angels are more fiery, gaseous beings, right? They're like, the sun, but alive, right? But that's why they can be bigger, and that's why you can't see them, because they're something outside of our understanding and reality, right? You might even say they're in a different dimension. Alien hunters. Ancient aliens, right? But see, one wants you to think they're an alien, one wants you to think they're messengers from heaven, right? What's the difference? Well, the aliens side of Satan is trying to get you to travel out into space when you're not ready for it. You can't even deal with your issues here, so how can you go out into space when you're quarreling over minor things? Who a person has sex with or not, who can do it or not, who can't do it, right? All that too, right? I'm still trying to find a girlfriend because I'm still, into women. I'll always be into women for my feelings, right? Now, I don't judge, right, under condemnation, though I explain if I think something is wrong, why I think it's wrong. But I also know that that's not up to me how another person feels. So if you feel gay, I can't say, well, you can't be with a man, right? It's a physical thing too, right? And I can't say it's more clean or dirty, but if you're a neat freak, you wouldn't want to have butt sex with a man anyway, or a woman. One hole ain't as sanitary as the other either. Is that why you're overcompensating?